In the beginning of the film, we see three aliens traveling in space, whose name is Jaka, Ju, and Jik. Actually, they are moving forward in search of a special kind of energy source. And from the signal emitted by that source, they find out that that source is somewhere on planet Earth. So they go to take it under their mission. But behind them are some dangerous aliens named Scratchers. On the other side, we see a weaver named Earthworm Bob, who used to live alone and peacefully in a jungle. At the same time, we see a cat named Max, who was very fond of singing. That's why he is singing in his voice in the car. But his singing irritates the driver of the car, and he takes him out of the car. That's why he is looking for a better place than the help of some balloons. But then he comes in the middle of the jungle because of a bird. And as soon as night falls, he gets very scared. That's why he runs to Bob's house. And he asks Bob to allow him to stay in his house. But Bob refuses him. That's why Max has to go out in sorrow. But at midnight, Max starts singing in his hoarse voice, which makes Bob to allow him to stay in his house. And that's how Max starts living with Bob. The next morning, Bob had to remove a tree and make a 100 mil there. That's why he asks Max for help in this work. But actually, Max wanted to be rich without doing anything. And he reads in a book that fishermen often get bottles in the sea. And if there is a map in it, it can be a treasure map. That's why instead of helping Bob, he goes fishing for the map. But Bob gets an idea to get his work done. And he deliberately makes a map in which he makes a treasure under the same tree. And puts that map in a bottle and puts it in Max's fishing rod. And when Max sees the map in that bottle, he is very happy. And according to the map, he cuts the tree alone and drops it. But under the tree, he really gets a unique thing, which is actually the same signal source. While following it, those aliens are moving like Earth. The signal gets faster when it comes out of the ground. That's why those aliens try to go to Earth while avoiding those dangerous creatures. But then their space-bun balance is broken by their collision. And they all come to Earth and crash. As soon as Bob and Max find out about this, they immediately run to see them. But they hide after seeing a crash ship there. Then those aliens come out. But seeing them talking to each other, Bob and Max don't understand their language at all. Meanwhile, those aliens see them with their swords. On the other hand, we see two ufologist brothers named Vic and Nick, who are following the signal found in their system, because they were sure that they could find aliens there. And they wanted to be famous and rich by catching them. But during that time, due to the imbalance of their car, they go and crash into a tree. On the other hand, they try to talk to aliens Max and Bob. But they don't understand their language at all. That's why Bob shows those aliens his house and the things around it without any clue. But those aliens were not interested in this. That's why Jaka converts her language into Earth's language with her power. After which those three aliens start talking like Max and Bob. They tell them that we have come from another planet. And we need your help. They ask them for help in fixing their spaceship. But even after a lot of Bob's efforts, they can't fix their spaceship. There we see a girl named Buzz, who came to his grandparents' house to spend his holiday. And he is having fun in the jungle. Meanwhile, those two brothers pass by their car from there. That's why Buzz hangs on their car. And he goes near Bob's house with him. He is very surprised to see aliens there. Then he sees a gadget there. And he unknowingly presses his button, because of which they start floating in the air. But then Buzz realizes his mistake. And Max normalizes everything again with the help of that gadget. But their Vic and Nick were also watching them. Meanwhile, those aliens are very upset about their spaceship being damaged. Then Max and Bob remember that once they made a hot air balloon with their intelligence. That's why they decide to take their spaceship up with the help of hot air balloon, so that it can be easier for their spaceship to fly after reaching the sky. But Jaka tells them that we have to find our energy source first. But they ignore him. So as soon as they reach a little height, they see that those two brothers pick up that spaceship with those aliens and put it in their car. And they start going from there holding them. But Max and his companions also follow them. Then with overconfidence their car collides with a pit. And Vic and Nick both fall into the pit. Then Max and the rest come there and tie them up with a tree and take their car away. From there we see a bear at a distance. Then they get down from their giant spaceship. Seeing them, the bear welcomes them in fear. But they also imprison him and put him in their spaceship. When they are trying to get rid of themselves from the tree, then the Scratchers come there and free them from the rope with the help of their gadget. Vic tries to confuse them, but the aliens also imprison them in their spaceship with the help of their gadget. When Max is going with his car in the hot air balloon, then the Scratcher aliens also catch him. Going there, she tells them that they are the Scratchers, who take the living beings from every planet and feed their planet's creatures. And they were also after us to catch us. But somehow we landed on Earth. So they have also come after us on Earth. And because the Scratchers came to Earth because of them, so they also decide to support Bob and Buzz to catch Max. At the same time, we see Max and the rest of the Scratchers in the cage in the Scratchers' spaceship. Then Max gets an idea. And he tries to trick the Scratchers who are watching him. And he gets out of there by confusing them in his simple game. And finally he comes out of that spaceship. But when he comes out, he finds out that Max and the rest of them went to the Scratchers' spaceship to save him. So Max decides to save them. Then he sees Jacka's spaceship. It is not in the condition to be attached. Then Max remembers the device found under that tree. And he takes it and puts it in the spaceship. After which the spaceship becomes right. And Max soon learns to control it properly. So he takes it and goes to face the Scratchers. But the Scratchers activate the shield force of their spaceship as soon as they see it, because of which Max's attack does not affect them. And on the contrary, Max gets the chance to escape from them. Then Bob and his companions help him. And they start singing together. After hearing this, the Scratchers start getting very upset. And by mistake, the shielding force is deactivated from them. And their spaceship comes down, by which everyone is safe. And Jacka also finally gets his energy source, through whose signal he came to Earth. Jacka and his companions thank him for this. And after that, they take the Scratchers with them. Also, to become famous, Vic and Nick record the video of the Scratchers. And with this, this movie ends here. So if you like this video, then like it. And for more such stories, subscribe to this channel.